Welcome to today's Midweek Thoughts. In 1 Corinthians we read, "What seemed to be God's foolishness is wiser than human wisdom, and what seems to be God's weakness is stronger than human strength." I think we all want to be wise, but we all make mistakes. We look in the wrong places or for the wrong things. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the blessing of unanswered prayers, which says, "I asked for strength that I might achieve. I was made weak that I might learn humbly to obey. I asked for health that I might do greater things. I was given infirmity that I might do better things. I asked for riches that I might be happy, and I was given poverty that I might be wise. I asked for power that I might have the praise of men. I was given weakness that I might feel the need of God. I asked for all things that I might enjoy life. I was given life that I might enjoy all things. I got nothing that I asked for, but everything that I had hoped for. Almost despite myself, my unspoken prayers were answered. I am, among all men, most richly blessed." In this reflection, the unknown Confederate soldier who wrote it knows what it's like to ask the wrong questions. But it is questions that make the difference between wisdom and foolishness. Like the questions in this retelling of a story by Leo Tolstoy. There was once a king who was overburdened by the tasks of state. One day he commented to his wife that if he only knew which matters were the most important, then he could use his time better and be a better king. She urged him to consult his wise men, but they each had different opinions on which matters were the most important. Eventually, despairing, he set off to see the holy hermit who lived in the hills in the hope of getting helpful advice. As he approached the hermit's dwelling, he saw the holy man digging his garden. The hermit hardly interrupted his work as he listened to the king, who said, "I have 2 questions. On whom should I spend my time and focus my attention? And which affairs are the most important and should therefore be taken care of first?" The hermit listened in silence and continued to dig his garden, and the king realized that the hermit was struggling and offered to do some digging for him. The hermit thanked him and handed him the spade. So the king dug for 2 hours while the hermit said nothing. He then asked his questions again. The hermit offered to take over the digging, but the king refused and continued digging until sundown. And then he said, "Since you can't or won't answer my questions, I'll go home now." At that point, a man came running out of the woods, clutching his hands to a wound in his stomach. As he reached them, he fell to the ground, moaning. The hermit and the king quickly washed and dressed the man's wounds and carried him into the hermit's dwelling. Exhausted after all the work that day, the king also fell asleep. The next morning, when he woke up, the wounded man was staring at him and said, "Forgive me." "For what?" said the king. And the man confessed, "You executed my brother. I followed you here to kill you. I got impatient when you did not come back out and moved out of my hiding place. Your bodyguard saw me and recognized me and attacked me, but I would have bled to death if you had not helped me. From now on, I will be your faithful servant." The king forgave him and promised to have him cared for. Then he went back to the hermit. "For the last time, please will you answer my 2 questions?" The hermit replied, "But you have your answers. Yesterday you had compassion for my weakness, for my weariness, and you helped to dig my garden. If you had gone straight home, our friend here would have attacked you. So the most important task was to show compassion. Later, when the man appeared, it was time to care for him. And if you had not done so, then he would have died, and you would not have been able to make he would not have been able to make his peace with you. At that moment, he was the most important person, and caring for him was your most important task. So the answer to your question is that the most important time is now. The most important person is the one who stands before you. God gives us one opportunity at a time. The person that I am with now and the task that lies immediately ahead of me are always more important than the past or the future. Each day holds its own opportunities. Let's sing our hymn. It's number 528. Make me a channel of your peace.